So what I've got here is I've got a just a small virtual environment. I've just started a VM. I've just created a VM, and I'm going to start up a ping here, just so you can see the that I've got this VM online. It's just a small WordPress site. So the reason why I've done that is it's a web server, also runs a small database, just so you can see what's going to happen once we fail over and fail back. So I'm going to simulate a VM failure by turning the VM off. And then we'll go back to our machine here. We're going to go to our replicas, and we can see that we're going to initiate a partial failover. We're just going to click on failover now on the Sydney, and we choose Sydney because this particular environment is running in Perth, and I want to show you the latency difference between the two. So when we go into the failover wizard, we can choose the restore points that we want to restore from. This one here is quite old, but that's totally fine for what we're going to show today. Just going to do some validations, and then it's going to start the failover process. So the good thing with Veeam is it's going to give us lots of detailed information as to what it's doing and exactly how long each part is taking. So we'll actually I'll actually speed up parts of this in just a minute, but you can see my ping window there is stopped responding to ping since we turned that VM off. And then what we've got on the local side there is we've got the network extension appliance, which is turning on. So we can see on the right-hand side window, the server side settings, partial failover on. We're turning on our network extension appliance on the client side, and what that's also going to do is turn on a network extension appliance on the server side, so on our side here. What those are going to do is those two NEAs are going to talk to each other. They're going to stretch a VLAN between that one VM that we're failing over and the rest of the network back in the client side. So we can see that's happening now, and then our pings start running. So we're using that local IP to connect to that VM, which is running in the cloud. So you can see we're looking about 60, 70 millisecond ping. So we can tell that that is in fact running in the cloud there. So what we do, we're going to go to this WordPress site. We're just going to make a small change to that site. So again, we're accessing it with the local IP. So from the local environment, it's going to act as if it was on that same network. So all the other servers that are there are going to see it without needing any DNS changes or anything like that. So just log into WordPress. I'm going to jump on this post here. And I'm just going to make a little change so that we can show the failback. And save that. I'm just going to visit the site just so that we can verify that we've made that change. And then we're going to go back into our Veeam. So we're going to initiate a failback to production. So there's a couple of different options that we've got. So we could either undo a failover. So let's just say you've got your environment back up and running. You don't want to fail any changes back to production. You can just undo it, and that will stop it running on our side. In this case, we want those changes that we've made running in the cloud to be failed back. So we're going to use the failback wizard here, and we can choose, there's a few different destination options here. So we can fail back to the original VM. We can put it to a VM in a different location, and we can just pass that one there. So basically, once we're going through the failback wizard, we can power on the VM after restoring as well. And then again, it's going to pop up the restore session. And it's quite descriptive on what it gives you here. So we can see that our pings are, they're still running through. So depending on the amount of changes that we've made, some of this can take some time. So in this, this test, I think the duration of the actual failback process takes about 5 or 10 minutes in total. So I've sped up that part of it. But we can basically see what it's doing there to is take a snapshot on the cloud side, copy that back, turn the cloud off and turn the local side back on. And then we turn off those network extension appliances. So the NEAs are very lightweight, so they sit as another VM on your existing hypervisor. So you don't need any extra infrastructure or anything like that. It's just a small Linux VM, uses about a gig of RAM. And so the VM gets created ahead of time, so you'll always see it there, like you can see in my vSphere on the left, but they only get turned on when you're actually doing a failover. So we can see here we've calculated the original signature hard disk, we've replicated that restore point, so that was 6 minutes and 1 minute respectively. So once we've done that, then the cloud VM's powered off, and you can see there my my pings have stopped running from the to the machine that was running in the cloud. And we can see it creates that replica restore point. Then once we've replicated the changes back down, the local VM's powered back on, and you'll be able to see my vSphere on the left. You can see that machine booting up now. And then you can see the their network extension appliance will then turn off. And you can see my ping window there, then goes back to normal, resumes at LAN speeds there. And then if we reload this, we can see we've still got the site with the changes that we made in the cloud, and they've been replicated back to the local site again. So the last thing here is to basically just commit the changes of that replica, and what we get, of the failback. And by doing that, it basically updates Veeam's database. So if you have failed it back to a different location, then next time the job's going to run, it'll make sure that it's reading and writing the same place. So we can see in this particular scenario, we failed back to the same place. So there won't be any changes that we need to do.